In this video,
Mayweather slipped to his right beautifully. He just was hurt. Yes, he is.
We look back at the ultimate fighting machine, Julio Cesar Chavez.
Really, all people who follow boxing rate Julio Cesar Chavez and Mike Tyson 1-2 in the world in terms of the best pound for pound. It just depends upon who they put first. What are your impressions of him as a champion, as a fighter?
You know, he's a great champion.
Chavez was a primal force in boxing in the 1980s and 1990s. He was a truly great fighter and was ranked by many as the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world.
This is what Chavez did to Mayweather in their first fight.
Chavez had an awesome offense and an underrated defense.
Chavez is such a master at cutting off the ring.
Again, if you're new to boxing, this is what is called infighting. Chavez is regarded as one of the very best in the sport at it.
He was thrilling to watch because he hunted his opponents down and showed some high-level skills that you usually don't see in textbooks pressure fighters.
The land with more consistency.
A guy with such talent as Cesar Chavez, there's nothing that he can't accomplish at this particular moment.
Why do Mexican fighters take a punch so well?
Es que nos preparamos a conciencia y
we prepare ourselves.
Y trabajamos muy duro.
We work very hard.
Y además somos muy valientes.
And we are very brave.
Quiero que todos me recuerden como un gran peleador.
I want everybody to remember me as a great fighter.
The first thing you notice about Chavez is that he gets into a great rhythm very quickly. The referee gives the opponent a standing count here, but I think the fight should be stopped. Sandoval is making a huge mistake here. He'd never wanted to be throwing punches like this with your chin up in the air and your back to the ropes, but he's hurting just fighting on instinct.
Try to set up the right hand. He scores the left. Good right hand. You won't see Sandoval get up from this one. I don't think that he'll be able to continue. He's back up. And now in the corner they say that's it. The referee, John Thomas, holds up his hand.
The final right hand was brutal.
And there's the right hand that ends it. That fight was all over when that right hand landed.
In his 44th fight, Chavez challenged fellow Mexican Mario Martinez for the WBC super featherweight title. In the 8th round, Chavez was just too relentless and Martinez was getting hurt. I thought the stoppage was okay. Martinez was game, but he was outclassed. In his first title defense against Ruben Castillo, Chavez was absolutely relentless. Castillo must have felt like he was in against an octopus, as Chavez just banged away with punches from every possible angle.
These guys more. The referee, Carlos Padilla, peeking in to take a look at that eye.
Man, Tom, look at this.
I don't know how many punches they've thrown. Castillo as game as they come. Chavez as talented as they come. Castillo is out on his feet, I think.
No.
He's hanging on. He's down he goes. Total beating has been absorbed by Castillo, and I don't know if he can continue. It's over with.
Castillo couldn't continue. I thought this was an impressive win for Chavez. Castillo was a durable guy and Chavez just looked like a machine.
I'm telling you right now, that's as fine an example of courage in the ring as an incredible example of execution of a man in trouble. A tremendous finish to a fantastic fight. I'm very, very impressed.
The 6th round. Let's take one more look at the knockdown.
The consistency with which this guy continues to throw those very hard punches is the kind of thing that's just too tough to possibly try to stand up to after this kind of pace.
Obey my commands at all times. Shake hands. Good luck to both of you.
Chavez faced off against the slick Roger Mayweather next. Roger was the uncle of the great Floyd Mayweather. Roger had some skills. Notice these sharp shots.
He scored a good combination. That rocked the champion Chavez.
What he didn't know was that Chavez had the granite Mexican chin.
And what set that up, Mayweather slipped to his right beautifully. He just was hurt. Yes, he is. Mayweather took 2 consecutive right hands from the champion Chavez.
There was nowhere to hide for Roger.
Ruled it a slip, evidently. There was no count, but he's in difficulty. That can cause down he goes again. A short right hand from the champion Chavez. This is only the first knockdown of the round. That could be significant. Chavez comes in with a right hand lead. Mayweather still in difficulty trying to tie him up. No knockdown. No, that was not a knockdown. Richards. Chavez pouring it on. He's got him again. A combination.
To this day, I still think this is one of the funniest punches in boxing history.
Well, he was off balance, Chavez. He jumped it with the right hand. He was in the air.
In his fight against Rocky Lockridge, Chavez hurt his right hand and had to show a new side to his game.
First good right hand thrown by Chavez.
Actually, Chavez has had some bizarre fights. Oldest trunks for commercial purposes match is a French news magazine.
Chavez boxed most of the time and Lockridge was just a step behind him.
30 seconds to go on the bout.
I scored it to Chavez comfortably.
He never hurt me in this fight. He said Rocky landed good punches, but never hurt. He hurt his hand on the right knuckle, as he showed us. But he said Rocky was a difficult fight.
Shake hands and good luck.
In his 10th world title fight, Chavez took on Juan Laporte. Laporte is one of my favorite fighters. He was a warrior, and he had proven that against the great Salvador Sanchez when he put up a valiant effort but got outclassed. I thought Chavez set that body shot up beautifully, but Laporte had his own left hook to the body.
I thought round one was dead even. Real good right hand.
I usually don't score rounds even because judges don't do that either, but in this fight I had to score several rounds even. It was just a very competitive fight.
From Madison Square Garden in New York City. Ooh, a right hand scored past the midway mark in round 6. There's the first sign of fatigue and first sign of punishment. When you see a guy start to hang on, it's the first time either guy has tried to hang on in a fight.
Chavez was doing his traditional good work to the body, and I think that he was edging him on in the fight, but just barely.
All comes in a flurry at the end.
But look at how Laporte just answers back every time with some very good punches in combination.
Boy, if you like boxing, you're gonna love this fight. Two excellent boxers going at it. Chavez again looks to me to be the fresher of the two fighters in a very even fight thus far.
In the 9th round, Chavez had a point deducted for a low blow. This wasn't good in such a close fight.
Taking 1 point away. Taking 1 point away for low blow. All right, that'll probably cost Chavez in what is a very, very even fight. Chavez just unbelievably under control in a fight. Even when he gets hit, he seems to be under control.
In the championship rounds, both guys still fought competitively. I just thought it was hard to separate them over the course of the fight.
Crowd coming to life as you see the action here. It's like Laporte getting the best of it.
Both guys battled to the finish line, and nobody knew who was going to get the decision.
What a great finish to a super fight. What a great fight that was.
I had Chavez narrowly winning the fight.
Unanimous decision for his 52nd straight win in as many pro bouts, and still the World Boxing Council Junior Lightweight Champion, Julio Cesar Chavez.
Chavez walked through Francisco de Cruz next. Notice the great variety of punches on the inside.
Qui donne des coups sans conviction parce qu'il est déjà usé. Là.
Thomas da Cruz au bord du chaos, ses jambes ne le soutiennent plus.
L'arbitre va arrêter.
Et voilà. L'arbitre se donne le droit, comme on vous le précisait au début.
In his next fight against Cabrera, Chavez put on a show. Chavez dominated the fight and never lost a minute. He was on top and got a shutout victory.
But back home in Puerto Rico and Mexico, there is enormous emotional interest and investment in this fight.
Chavez moved up to the 135-pound division to challenge for the world title held by Puerto Rican legend Edwin Rosario.
Julio Cesar Chavez.
Rosario was backed by Mike Tyson and was in his prime in this fight.
Is Mike Tyson, his stablemate. There he is, that big broad back as big as Ohio. That's Mike Tyson. No lightweight heat.
It's also the first time I've ever seen him smile in a boxing ring.
And carry a bucket too.
That's right.
I thought Chavez's absolute prime was around the time of this fight.
Now those are the type of shots that take your legs away from you.
When I watch this fight, I am completely amazed at how much of a complete and utter domination it is.
So far, Chavez has effectively taken away the punching room that Rosario likes to have.
Chavez puts on a technically masterful display. This fight is a great example of solid, technically correct pressure dismantling of a very good boxer in Rosario.
Once again, as Larry Merchant pointed out a little bit earlier, he's just not giving Rosario room to punch.
Chavez keeps coming, and he keeps coming right straight through Rosario's best punches.
Chavez's offense is fierce.
Early in the fight, a good straight right hand by Chavez. Chavez has shown that he really has some sophisticated boxing talents. He's not just a brawler. He has great presence in the ring. He takes a great punch.
Look at the combinations.
And that hurt Rosario.
Look at the combinations.
One thing I love about this fight is not only the offense, but the superb inside defense of Chavez. His ability to roll and slip punches in close was some of the best I've ever seen. His gloves are always perfectly positioned to parry whatever shots he didn't feel like slipping.
Right hand.
And there's a big combination. That hurt Rosario. It also cut him. And he's in a world of trouble.
Oh, now.
In the 8th round, Rosario was hurt, and Chavez kept the pressure on.
Took another good right hand. Still 15 seconds.
Look at the combinations, Barry.
Rosario just looks like a beaten man. He has absorbed an awful lot and is in trouble again.
Chavez has to keep doubling those punches up, ways doubling his combinations up. Both hands, both hands. And the left hook. I'll be interested to see whether his corner stops the fight, because he's really hurt. But he's holding his own, huh?
But taking a brutal beating here.
Rosario continued to give his maximum effort, but Chavez was at his peak on this night.
Look at the body shots. You gotta appreciate them. Both
Chavez
hands.
not letting him out of the corner, continuing to just put all the pressure on Edwin Chapo Rosario.
I'm not sure anyone could beat him on this night.
The eyes completely closed now.
There was just nowhere to hide for Rosario.
Proud. And that's got to feel like an eternity.
Brutal body shots went in there. Rosario's left eye was swollen and the fight was becoming very uncomfortable to watch.
Well, if Hart wins fights, then Rosario might get a draw. That's it. They threw the towel in. It's over.
This man is going to be so difficult to beat. Trains hard, dedicated.
Very professional, his whole attitude.
Why do Mexican fighters take a punch so well?
Es que nos preparamos a conciencia y
We prepare ourselves.
trabajamos muy duro.
We work very
Y
hard.
además somos muy valientes.
And we are very brave.
In his next fight, Chavez introduced Nicky Perez to the canvas quite quickly.
De Perez a la cara de Julio César y con la derecha lo hace pagar cara la osadía.
If you are not a highly skilled inside fighter, you need to be able to keep Chavez at distance. Perez wasn't able to do either. Notice Chavez covering up here and landing a beautiful left hook counter.
Haciendo un papel digno y otra vez lo clava.
I thought the referee was bad here.
Y aquí ya pararon la pelea, arrojaron la toalla.
The corner did the right thing by throwing in the towel though.
The Mexican star of the lightweight division, Julio Cesar Chavez.
He is the WBA lightweight champion of the world, Julio Cesar Chavez.
After 56 fights and 56 wins, Chavez took on his first left-handed opponent, Rodolfo Aguilar.
That he does not waste punches. He doesn't throw for the sake of throwing. He throws when he thinks he can get inside and do damage.
The best punch to throw against a southpaw is a straight right hand.
Again, the right hand gets through, and again, Aguilar goes down. Straight right hands.
There's the knockdown, that clean right hand. He landed several clean shots during the round. There's a second one.
Chavez shown that he was already a master at it.
Needs to get inside, but there again, the right landed and backed Aguilar up.
Chavez put on a masterclass in this fight.
Is that he will take his time and be patient unless you hurt him and make him mad. Another great right by Chavez.
When Aguilar let punches go, Chavez let him know that he could take anything he threw.
Aguilar. Chavez now telling him to come on in.
Notice the nice head movement here from Chavez.
So far, he hasn't seen the same kind of performance tonight, but that...
Good left hook by Chavez.
And you saw that the right sent Aguilar reeling for the moment.
Let's watch as Chavez goes to work. Comes in close, the left. Always moving forward.
He just kept finding a way to land his right hand.
Combinations by Chavez. There's that right hand, that beautiful looping right hand.
In the 6th round, the right hand of Chavez had a big effect.
Aguilar appears to be wearing down now. Those uppercuts and the looping right hand. Look at that beautiful shot.
Aguilar looking for a place to fall after the right hand. And his
I think the accumulation of punches was just too much.
And Richard Steele stops the fight.
A great fighter does what he has to do to look great.
Chavez was a real-time nightmare to fight in his prime.
Julio Cesar Chavez runs his record officially to 57-0.
But what wore Aguilar down was the inside fighting and the looping right hands. That right hand there proved to be effective against southpaws. Aguilar at this point here is out of it.
He wanted a place to fall down. As you see this right hand land, you'll see right next to the eye on the temple, and Aguilar said, that'll do.
The looping right hand. It's a beautiful shot.
El gran campeón mexicano, Julio Cesar Chavez.
The liver shots by Chavez in his fight against Buchanan were brutal.
That was a tremendous body shot that got the attention of Yogi Buchanan. Look at the face though, Chick. You can never tell by that, right?
Chavez has got him in trouble already.
See what I mean by the patience of Julio Cesar Chavez? He had Buchanan.
Oh, that uppercut straight in the head of Buchanan.
Just listen to the sound of these punches.
Good uppercut.
I don't think that's unavoidable. Knight Buchanan. Digging left hand just at the belt line. Round is over.
Buchanan was tough and game in the fight.
What a right hand, and that hurt Buchanan badly.
But in the 3rd round, he had had enough.
Out, Ruben. He's wearing him down. With punches like that right hand, then the left hook. And that's the end of it. That's all he wants. Buchanan said, that's all I want.
That's it.
He's a killer. Julio Cesar Chavez.
Chavez landed some punches on Buchanan after Buchanan signaled he was quitting, but boxing is a brutal sport. Chavez will keep punching until the referee steps in, and I think that's right. If you want to quit, take a knee.
Right now he's working hard, so there isn't anybody that can beat him. But there's been rumors that he wants to fight Sugar Ray Leonard. Hay rumores que quiere pelear con Sugar Ray Leonard.
Bueno, hay planes para pelear con Sugar Ray Leonard, pero primeramente tengo que ganarle a Ramirez, después ganarle a Roger Mayweather y luego ganar el campeonato welter o definitiva ir con Sugar Ray Leonard.
Well, he said that's in the future. First of all, he's going to fight Jose Luis Ramirez, and then he's going to fight Roger Mayweather in a rematch. Then he wants to move up to the welterweight division and fight for that.
Chavez's next fight was a unification fight against a man who was also from his hometown, Jose Luis Ramirez. At this point, Chavez was considered to be the best fighter in the world pound for pound. Ramirez was even more experienced than Chavez. This was a unification fight between two world champions, and there was a capacity crowd for the fight in Las Vegas. Both guys knew each other well because they had sparred countless rounds together in the gym.
Okay, obey my commands all the time, shake hands, good luck.
A right to the body and a left to the chin by Chavez.
I think Chavez was near his peak in this fight.
Left uppercut on the button by Chavez.
Ramirez was a front foot southpaw. The right hand of Chavez was a very important punch in this fight. Chavez was also moving laterally at times and outboxing Ramirez. In the fourth round, Chavez shows tremendous skill to land his counter right hand on Ramirez.
It's going to happen. There you go.
Right hand by Chavez. Ramirez is staggered but doesn't go down. Chavez steps in.
Just has that near knockdown occurred. A good left to the stomach, and Chavez counters right over that left to the belly.
I thought this was just an excellent all-around performance from Chavez. He boxed and moved and also fought when he wanted to.
Good series to the head by Chavez.
The way I looked at it. Oh, he hurt him there.
Right hand lead continues to hurt Ramirez. Again, Ramirez staggering.
Oh, this guy's hurt, but he's not opening up enough.
Round is going to come to an end before Chavez can do anything with it. Could be that the constant pounding with the right hand is starting to take its toll. A left and a right in close.
Got to do more of that. Got to work the body more. I think if you work the body more, you bring him down. That was a good right hand to the body. He's opening up.
And now Ramirez is in trouble again.
Good right hook ball by Ramirez. He answered.
Chavez looks resolute.
By the 8th round, Chavez has started standing his ground more and pushing Ramirez back. Notice Chavez mixing defense and offense in his exchange.
I tell you, this Ramirez, he's right there.
And look at Chavez just back him up with the shoulders. Two solid lefts and a right hand by Chavez.
There you go. That's his right hand. It's a kind of a somewhere between a jab and a big right hand and a hook.
The right hand was working all night for Chavez.
Solid right hand by Chavez. Another one.
Pressing forward. Always trying.
Another right hand. Tremendous championship action in the ring.
Right hands. There's a cut.
In the 11th round, there was a clash of heads.
There it is. There you saw both fighters coming straight ahead.
Usually you see more head clashes in orthodox versus southpaw fights because of the way their feet are positioned, but in this case, I thought it was even more likely to happen because both guys like to come forward.
And they stopped the fight. It's hard to see from here how bad that cut is, except that it is trickling directly into the eye.
Down, so what?
It doesn't look that bad.
So what?
Painful anticlimax in the ring.
That's bad.
Neither fighter satisfied with this.
The winner on a technical decision, and now the possessor of 2 lightweight championship belts, Julio Cesar Chavez.
In the 4th round, you staggered him and then you backed off. Why didn't you finish him then if you were feeling hurt?
En el cuarto round tú le pegaste duro y él se quedó tambaleando, sin embargo tú no lo finalizaste. ¿Por qué te quedaste pensándolo y no lo terminaste?
I don't know, I'm sorry.
I don't know, I'm sorry.
Quiero que todos me recuerden como un gran peleador.
I want everybody to remember me as a great fighter.
Roger Mayweather was looking for revenge on Chavez from their earlier fight. In that fight, Chavez beat Mayweather like he stole something from him.
Official count, 60 fights. He has won 60 fights.
You figure somewhere along the way a fighter is going to run into a punch, but Chavez has never run into one he couldn't handle.
Chavez was challenging for Mayweather's 140-pound title, and it was an open question as to how he would look at the higher weight class. Mayweather's manager, Billy Baxter, had openly said that he put $25,000 on Roger to win the fight.
Well, it's a bit of a perverse relationship. They boo him, they root against him.
Presentando el gran campeón mexicano Julio Cesar Chavez.
Mayweather started well, utilizing his lateral movement and throwing good shots.
But Julio Cesar Chavez has one of the best chins in boxing. Early, Mayweather has thrown by far more punches.
Notice Mayweather was using the shoulder roll defenses while on the ropes.
That left landed.
And this is what Chavez did to Mayweather in their first fight. He stood him up and he's got him standing still on the ropes.
Mayweather has weathered that storm. He's just playing possum here.
I think Mayweather was a very good fighter, but his defense is just a bit too leaky to deal with Chavez's offense.
From another angle. I guess one of the issues in this fight, Jim, is whether Mayweather has added weight to his heart. And he comes in with a good right-hand counter. Suggested in the tips of the night, Jim, is he has tied up Chavez a couple of times on the inside. That was a very good right hand high on Chavez's head.
And a right to the jaw. A leaping left landed by Chavez. He's starting to get into Mayweather's chest a little bit. Like that. Right hand landed flush on the jaw. Low blow.
I thought the low blow was unintentional from Mayweather. The referee actually took a point off Roger for that low blow at the end of the round. I thought it was a bit harsh. There was no warning and Roger wasn't a dirty fighter.
Sheer aggression of Julio Cesar Chavez begins to take its toll, and now Mayweather rallies again with the left hand over Chavez's right.
Every time Mayweather landed a good punch, Chavez answered back, but Mayweather was here to fight.
Landed flush. Right hand from Chavez. Mayweather clowning just a little bit. Low blow again, Ellis Burrow says. Mayweather flirting with another point deduction. Both fighters landing good punches. Mayweather landed a right hand, and they're yelling at each other. Mayweather just missed with what would have been a sensational right cross.
Chavez laughs after Mayweather landed his best right hand. When he talked about this fight in his later years, Mayweather was still shocked at the chin Chavez had. No matter what you hit him with, that MFer ain't going nowhere, Roger said. The shoulder roll isn't really working for Roger. It's leaky, but he's a warrior and continues to give everything.
Julio Cesar Chavez has designs on bigger things, big money. We're in the 6th round. It's scheduled for 12. Chavez continues to stalk. Mayweather continues to fling the jab. Good right cross. And now Chavez does a little clowning of his own.
Mayweather came back and landed a couple of good right hands.
Very close to hitting on the break, but he got away with it.
In the 7th round, it's obvious that Mayweather has slowed down. He now has to stand and fight more with Chavez, and that's not good.
Again, if you're new to boxing, this is what is called infighting. Chavez is regarded as one of the very best in the sport at it. Mayweather is holding his own, but he lost his balance there, and I think it may be Roger who's run into a tired spot here.
At the end of the round, both guys continue to throw leather after the bell.
That Roger Mayweather is a very good professional fighter. Julio Cesar Chavez has never lost. Jesse Reed carries Chavez halfway across the ring, and the crowd begins to erupt.
After sustaining a cut in the 8th round, Mayweather lands some sharp right hands.
Blood coming from a mouse underneath the left eye, and he begins to try to measure the right cross in hopes of scoring a knockout, and he's landed it twice in a row. Make it 3 times. Chavez stares at him and says, come on, try again.
And Mayweather seems to say, damn, you take a punch. This is predator versus predator. Perhaps he's just trying to get a breather in this round for one last heroic effort in the last rounds, but he can't win the fight fighting this way. Chavez is such a master at cutting off the ring. He really doesn't let you fight that way.
In the 10th round, Mayweather is fighting off the back foot and seems to be tiring. He doesn't get hurt in the round and seems to just take the round off by boxing on the back foot.
He has awesome will. It's very rare the kind of willpower you see in Chavez combined with his skills.
Break it. Break. Break.
Roger Mayweather is fighting valiantly. But at this moment, as Larry Merchant points out, he's losing.
However, all of a sudden, the fight is over.
They have stopped the fight.
Crowd response came earlier than ours because we were looking at Chavez.
Mayweather claimed he had stomach cramps and couldn't fight anymore. Maybe that's true, but most people thought he quit.
I'm not 100% sure of why they stopped the fight. Obviously he has a cut, but the cut wasn't giving him a problem. I hate to say it, but I just think he didn't want any more of Chavez.
I think you're absolutely right. The position that Mayweather has assumed on his bench, the relationship he has with his manager and trainer would lead you to believe that Roger Mayweather said, that'll do.
Iba a apretar en el 11º y 10º round. Mayweather es un gran peleador. He said Mayweather's a great champion, great fighter, and the fight was pretty even till now.
Were you surprised that he retired in his corner? Because it didn't appear that the cut was bothering him that much.
Yo quería pelear, me sentía muy fuerte me sentía. He said that he was surprised that he wanted to continue fighting because he's getting stronger and stronger.
Kenny Vice was given the usual brutal body shots early.
Solid blows to the head from Chavez. He grabs the head. Chavez like the truth.
In the 3rd round, Chavez landed a nice counter right hand and then took Vice apart. Notice the right hand's having a big effect. Kenny had a lot of heart, but you can't do much when punches are coming at you like this. Notice how calm and patient Chavez is when he's under pressure and he finds a beautiful right hand counter.
For yourself, do you want to continue, son? I hope Frank won't let it go too much longer. But right now, Kenny Vice, and that's it.
Chavez had a non-title stay busy fighting Mexico. Rodolfo Bada was pummeled to the canvas on several occasions.
En este combate, a pesar de saberse prácticamente en las garras del campeón mundial de la derecha e izquierda de Chavez, otra vez sobre el rostro de Rodolfo Bada, el referee.
Bada is complaining about the stoppage, but I think he's still out of it.
Y de esta forma, Julio Cesar Chavez salía airoso de.
Chavez was lined up to face the champ Meldrick Taylor in a unification fight. Taylor respected Chavez, but thought he was better.
What is impressive about Chavez?
Chavez is a very aggressive and a very persistent fighter. He has a lot of experience, and I respect him as a champion. I think he's one of the best champions of all times.
Julio Cesar Chavez.
Chavez had to get through Alberto Fuentes first. Fuentes tasted the left hook early.
Chavez starting to be more effective with the left hook.
Fuentes throws a lot of punches.
A right hand lead to the head landed for Chavez.
Notice this great left hook work by Chavez. This punch was doing serious damage already.
Another good right by Fuentes. Digging the left to the body. Again with the left to the body. And Chavez begins to take command against the ropes.
This is incredible defense by Chavez. He's so comfortable parrying shots and using subtle moves to slip and deflect punches. It's awesome to watch.
Blocked. Several others missed. Chavez is very adept at slipping punches at close range.
If you throw a lazy jab at Chavez, he is adept at coming over that jab with a counter right. Notice this great slip to the outside by Chavez.
Certainly no stranger to Julio Cesar Chavez's fights. What have you seen so far?
He's turning southpaw, he's moving.
Allow Fuentes to wear himself down.
Watch the body shots thrown by Chavez. He goes to the head, then he drills those body shots. Takes their toes, slows the man down.
This is Chavez at his best. Beautiful punches from every angle. Chavez is constantly setting up that left to the body with his right hand.
Solid right hand moving. You know, you're setting me up, and I love it, because yesterday you had the great line, but I'll steal it anyway. They don't hit you during a triathlon.
That's right.
I thought Chavez was very patient in this fight. Whenever he opened up, he was doing good damage.
Some of that early action in that round. A straight left, followed by a hook to the body, followed by a left hook, followed by 2 more lefts, that all unanswered.
The fight had slowly turned into a beatdown, and it was clear that Fuentes was in some serious trouble.
Another right hand by Chavez.
This is that portion of the fight where Chavez starts taking his opponents to a country they've never been to. They've never had to fight as hard for as long as they do when they fight Chavez. Wisely moving around now. Goes on.
His face unmarked.
And Fuentes is really hurt now. Doesn't look like he's going for a decision right here, Jim.
Yeah.
It's time to go.
He deserves an honorable stoppage.
At the end of the 10th round, the doctor had a conversation with Fuentes.
Está bien.
Can you see?
Está bien.
Do you want to continue?
Huh?
Huh? He's enough. That's enough.
That's enough.
Bastante.
Enough.
The fight was stopped. This was a methodical beatdown by Chavez.
And the truth is that Chavez is just too much. Your thoughts about Meldrick Taylor, who is regarded very highly in America. He's an Olympic gold medalist. He is undefeated. A lot of people think that he can beat you.
Que es un gran peleador, un peleador muy rápido, muy inteligente. Pero el 17 de marzo voy a ganarle a Meldrick Taylor.
He said he's a very, very good fighter, and he's a very quick fighter, but on the 17th of March, he's going to beat Meldrick Taylor.
I look to really basically stand right there and then use my upper body movement to get away from punches. And with, like I said, with my hand speed, I'm looking to beat him to the punch every time.
The best little bout that money can buy.
The fight against Meldrick Taylor was a world title unification fight in the 140-pound division. Both guys were undefeated going into the fight. Taylor was a highly skilled Olympic champion. Taylor's career best performance up to this point was a domination of Buddy McGirt. Taylor was known for having lightning speed and fast footwork. During Taylor's ring walk, his trainer was getting worked up that there was no music playing.
There is Lou filling the middle of the screen and screaming, "Where is the music?" Right next to Taylor, that's Pernell Whitaker, world lightweight champion. Put the music on! Already things aren't going the way Lou wants them.
His trainer is going to be a very important factor in this fight. More on that later.
Lightweight champion of the world, Julio Cesar Chavez. Meldrick Taylor.
Taylor had a good strategy, staying off the ropes at all costs and using his fast hands to counter any of Chavez's attacks. In the second round, Chavez did some damage and a cut was opened inside Taylor's mouth.
The right hand of Taylor, he's dropping it.
Yep, and Chavez is throwing over the top of Taylor now, beginning to land with more consistency. Right hand leads, doing the damage for Chavez now. A solid left inside. And the crowd begins to heat up as Julio Cesar Chavez turns up the pressure.
It was thought that Taylor got that cut in training and it reopened in the fight.
One of Chavez's extraordinary capacities is his ability to take a punch.
As the fight was going on, I thought Taylor was doing some good work.
Punches and then he got out of there, but they didn't linger. That's true.
Good right hand lead by Taylor. Well, Ray Leonard, would you say a near perfect performance so far from Meldrick Taylor?
It's a very good performance by Meldrick Taylor.
A lot of the actions was back and forth.
Again, Jim, this kind of fight, this inside fight, it wears a fighter down.
We know Chavez has a superhuman chin, though.
Flurry for Meldrick Taylor, likely to bring him back.
Both guys had their successes, but I thought Taylor was winning most of the rounds.
Solid left hand by Meldrick Taylor, and Chavez showed you there his incredible ability to take a punch.
Taylor's punches look flashy and Chavez is not landing as many as Taylor is landing.
And that gets back to the fact, Ray, that Chavez has not done damage to the body like he usually does. He hurt Chavez just then.
Despite Chavez landing fewer punches, Taylor's face started really marking up. His left eye began to swell. We would later learn that Taylor had a broken orbital bone at this point.
Taylor still blistering Chavez inside.
Meldrick Taylor's getting his entire body behind his punches. He's not really known to be a big puncher, but here he's getting a lot of leverage behind the left hook of his.
Solid left hook inside by Taylor. Chavez continues to try to come back with the left of the body.
The power of Chavez was having a big effect. As I watched this fight, I got the impression that Chavez may have been losing the battles, but he was winning the war. I think this fight shows just how damn good Chavez was. Despite being outlanded by an athletically gifted fighter at his peak, Chavez was still wearing him down as the rounds went by. Taylor may have been winning, but he was sustaining far greater and more lasting damage than Chavez was.
Left hook by Meldrick Taylor.
You got to put everything you've got. For the love of God, throw everything you've got, Julio.
Yeah, when the cornermen start saying, for the love of God, they know how desperate the situation is. An unnecessary chance to get back into this. Look at the speed of Meldrick Taylor's flurries.
Taylor's hands are really fast when he flurries, but notice these sharp shots by Chavez. At the end of the 9th round, I agreed with Harold Letterman, who have given every round to Taylor.
Larry, I've got it 90-81, 9 rounds to nothing in favor of Meldrick Taylor. In rounds 5, 7, and 9, Meldrick stood on the inside and just outfought Chavez at his own game. And in the 8th round, he backed him up. I mean, I think it's all Meldrick Taylor. I think Julio has lost a lot of the snap to his punches.
He's carried out George Benton's game plan to perfection.
Whoa, beautiful
trading punches inside, and Chavez again seems to wobble slightly as Taylor lands at will. Brilliant stuff from Meldrick Taylor. Chavez on the verge of going down. Now he smiles as he slips a punch.
Chavez knew he was down on the cards and started going through the gears.
Watch out for those shots.
Taylor beginning to look more the worse for wear than the action of the bout would have led you to believe, though. Blood again from the mouth and the nostrils. Both eyes beginning to close. Chavez is coming on.
Watch the legs of Taylor. They don't seem to be too steady here.
Chavez finally seizing the initiative for the first time.
In the final round, Taylor was tired, but it looked like he was on his way to a clear unanimous decision win.
Slipping to the canvas. A solid left hook from Meldrick Taylor.
In the last seconds of the fight, Chavez finally makes a breakthrough with his counter right hand. Taylor is fighting on instinct and doesn't clinch.
If he gets up, he probably wins the fight. I can't believe it!
Unbelievable! Richard Steele stopped the fight with fewer than 5 seconds to go. You're going to watch Lou Duba go crazy now. You're going to watch Lou Duba go absolutely berserk. This is one of the most unusual calls by a referee in the whole history of the sport.
I cannot believe they stopped that fight.
My opinion of what happened here is that his trainer takes a lot of the blame for this. Taylor was obviously hurt, but he got up early. However, notice Taylor looking towards his own corner. What happened here was that his trainer jumped on the ring apron, probably to give instructions to Taylor. Taylor looking over and not really responding to the referee is what gives the referee the justification to stop the fight. I know there's only 2 seconds left, but Taylor didn't respond. I can understand the stoppage.
Lo que piensas tú?
Bueno, realmente me sentí cansado, la verdad.
He felt really tired. I felt very, very tired, to be real. Meldrick's a great fighter.
Es un peleador muy rápido e inteligente.
Very, very intelligent fighter and very quick fighter.
Merece otra oportunidad.
He deserves another shot.
The fight was 2 seconds in the 12th round. There's no one in the world in hell that he should have stopped this fight. but the kid got up. He got up at 6, and he counted 6. Take a look at the bubble, and you'll see it at 6, Larry. It wasn't at 9, it wasn't at 10, it was at 6. He was up, and he was looking at the referee.
In his next fight against Addo, I thought Chavez was pretty lucky to get awarded the knockout. Chavez landed a low blow, and it looked like the referee knew it was a low blow, but he counted Addo out anyways. It's not like Chavez wouldn't have easily knocked Addo out anyway. Still, this was a clear low blow. After easily demolishing Russell Mosley,
segunda caída en este tercer episodio para el norteamericano Víctor Nebel, y parece que ahí se va a quedar para la cuenta definitiva. Tranquilamente, ahí.
Chavez dispatched Jamie Balboa.
Esto se acaba, no puede más Powell, que apenas se puede mantener en pie. Creo que no está pegando lo suficientemente duro Chavez, ahí sí. Metió una mano más, está en el tapiz. Powell y el propio entrenador de Powell.
He likes to start out by finding opportunities to go to the body, particularly with the vicious left hook. Maybe the best left hook to the body in boxing.
Chavez defended his title against N next. The straight right hand was on the mark.
That did not appear to be the kind of punch that would put a championship class fighter on his back.
Once Chavez has his man hurt, he's usually a devastating finisher due to the variety of his punches.
He's about to go down again. Chavez landing with lefts and rights. And on searches out a place to fall down. Now he looks to his corner for guidance. 6! Quite as vigorously as was the case in the final minute of round 2. And you have to believe that the body punches are taking their toll.
Down he goes. And half the crowd has gotten excited over some kind of ruckus that's happening behind us. Jim, that's what you were hearing before that knockdown. Han cannot go on, and he retires. Or as we say in America, he quits.
And tried his best, but he was totally outclassed and didn't want to continue. I think he was only going to get hurt more, so although I don't like to see fighters quitting, I don't mind this one.
Well, he landed it right on the point of the chin, and here's knockdown number 2. You're going to see On searching out some canvas. The trademark left hook to the body, a combination before the count of 10. There it is, digging the hook to the body, and you can see On putting his right arm down to try to protect.
Julio, congratulations. Was he a little tougher than you thought? Sí, era más peligroso que pensabas. Realmente yo no pensé que fuera a resultar la pelea tan fácil, la verdad. Lo único que puedo decir es que me sentí muy fuerte. He said it wasn't as tough a fight as he thought. I mean, it was an easier fight than he thought it was, and he felt really good. He felt very strong for this fight.
In his 74th fight, Chavez put on a show. The replay will show how accurate his body shot was.
Chavez that did not look that stinging. There's the time left in the second.
Notice Chavez coming over a lazy jab with his trademark counter right hand here.
Padilla having more to say than usual. It's interesting because Chavez doesn't understand what he's saying.
We've seen Chavez be devastating with that shot in previous fights already.
All right, let's look at that mysterious knockdown. I think it was the body shot that did it. Right here. Boom. And down he goes. Yeah, that's what it was. The knockdown wasn't as clean as the other knockdown. No matter what he did. He was just right there. Yeah. The right hand started him on his way. The second right was not really hard. The body shot really propelled him through the ropes. Right here. Boom. And out he goes.
The American Tommy Small was worked over by Chavez in a typical swarming performance. One thing I really like about Chavez is that he maintains great balance in the ring at all times. His pressure is so effective because his positioning is always on point. Small doesn't have a counter-punching threat, and that's suicidal versus Chavez. You have to have something to make Chavez think.
Pride of Mexico, el gran campeón mexicano, Julio Cesar Chavez. Once again, here's your winner,
I thought Lonnie Smith put in a shameful performance versus Chavez.
Like you see, Lonnie shouldn't be fighting this way because there's no way he can win this way.
Being smart, running is one thing, but you have to punch with it. If you don't punch with it, this is no good.
Smith brought his track shoes to the fight and came to run a marathon in the ring.
40 pounds could punch, but being here at ringside and watching the devastation of Julio Cesar Chavez, you know, it's inconceivable, unbelievable.
At the end of the first round, Chavez and Smith looked like they might throw down. I think Smith was using every trick he had to try to frustrate Chavez in this fight.
You know, he isn't licensed to be in my corner, and the only reason he could train...
Oh, look at that. That wasn't anywhere near a low blow.
Mike Tyson, who was commenting on the fight, couldn't understand why Smith wasn't throwing more punches.
And I don't understand why Lonnie don't make one stand and just fight to keep Chavez off him. He has the punching power to do so.
Round 3 scheduled for 12, the WBC Super Lightweight Championship.
In a lifetime, he should take advantage and open up. Continue to punch. He must continue to punch. He mustn't walk away like that. He must continue to punch. He doesn't feint. He must feint and punch.
Chavez said he was bothered by a tender ankle in this fight, which caused him some pain when he moved forward. In the 5th round, Smith kneed Chavez in the groin.
Ring with this fight and find out you hit him.
You see that?
Is that with the headbutt?
He got a knee.
He kicked him. He kneed him.
Smith kneed Chavez.
That's a sign of frustration, as you know, Freddie.
A sign of frustration. He doesn't know what else to do. Almost hoping for disqualification. Get out of here fast before this guy...
You'd never like to see anything like that in a boxing ring.
Now watch when he tries to break. Now watch the knee. Look.
Oh, my!
And the crowd reacting from the big screens here.
Something I missed because I was glancing. He was hit with a right hand and a left hook.
Tonight, not facing one of the great...
Chavez's head movement was on point in the fight.
Body punching, what it does right now.
But when you mention Roberto Duran, there's no one like him. And I think it's just a pleasure to be here and watch, be in the same time to watch Julio Cesar Chavez fight.
Nice right over there.
But as Mike, oh, there's a right hand by Chavez.
Those are the kind that snap your brain
around. Let's watch
around.
from this angle. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, those are the jabs that hurt you.
I've watched all of Chavez's fights, and I do believe it when he says his ankle bothered him in this fight. If he was at full fitness, I have no doubt he would have been much more devastated.
Get started. This is the time to finish up. He's in a different gear. See that right hand right there? Pinpoint, right on it.
The right hand continued to be an effective punch.
Right hand.
And I believe Chavez.
The fight went the distance. I think Smith just went into survival mode in the fight.
Just trying to survive 12 rounds. Too, a lot of people thought that Meldrick Taylor got ripped off. Very controversial finish to that fight.
It was a very interesting fight. Meldrick Taylor is a super fighter as far as, I mean, him jumping up weights. All of my life I knew Meldrick. I knew Meldrick for at least 10 years going in and out of amateurs, and he's continued to go up in weight. And I think the welterweight division is where he's extremely confident at, and I would love to see the two of them fight and perhaps fight for the welterweight championship, and then eventually they can unify it. Because in the welterweight division, there's a bunch of unsung heroes, guys that are fabulous, but they never get the credit unless they meet one another.
What does Julio Cesar Chavez have left to prove? We found out he'd like to fight maybe 10, 11, 12 more fights. What do you think?
Well, Steve, a guy with such talent as Cesar Chavez, there's nothing that he can't accomplish at this particular moment.
Chavez put a beatdown on Jorge Million in his next fight. Notice the right hand setup for landing the left hooks. Chavez displays his seamless transition between defense and offense as he lands his punches and avoid what's coming to him. This is pressure fighting at its best. Look at the head movement from Chavez. We know Chavez is a left hook specialist, but in this fight, it's the right hook to the body that makes the breakthrough.
No puede más. Es el final de la pelea. Ahora va a venir. Ahí va. Esa es la mano. Esa es la mano. En la anterior, la izquierda al hígado. Clara, seca, veloz.
Ignacio Perdomo just didn't have anything to keep Chavez off of him. At this point, Chavez was still thought by most boxing experts to be the pound-for-pound best in the sport. He ended up not coming out for the 8th round, and I don't blame him.
Chavez is simply the greatest fighter fighting today. There's some people close to him. Maybe Pee Wee Whitaker could be. Pernell Whitaker could turn out to be one. Maybe Julian Jackson could turn out to be another. But right now, there's only one, Julio Chavez, and he is the best going.
#1 contender Angel Hernandez was heavily booed as Chavez defended his title in his hometown.
Angel Pelayito Hernandez. Julio Cesar Chavez. Aquí está el referee Arthur Mercanti.
You get close to Chavez, blood is going to start to flow. Oh, good punch.
A punishing right by Chavez.
I thought Hernandez was going to do better in this fight.
Uppercuts by Chavez. Right by Chavez.
Chavez back to the attack, knowing he's got his man butt ready to go.
Chavez didn't take a backward step all night as he pummeled Hernandez to head and body.
Right by Chavez. Now he goes to the body. Ferocious shots.
Chavez punishes the body when he gets a man in trouble.
In the 5th round, Chavez closed the window with one of his trademark combinations.
Chavez alternating the attack. Body, head. This is vintage Chavez.
Punishing blows by Chavez. This could do it. It's all over.
This is the way the great fighters finish. To the body, look at that hook to the body, back to the body, up to the head. The variety, the infinite variety of punches of Chavez, which don't stop until the fight.
Tickets were already on sale for a grudge match between Chavez and the flamboyant Hector Macho Kamacho.
A Mike Tyson, Mike. Un saludo y al profesor Carlos Jan González.
He says that this fight he dedicates to Mike Tyson. He loves him, and he saluted one of the professors that taught him a great deal.
Un saludo a todos Estados Unidos y México.
Tell him he's now gotten the status of God. The Japanese fighter said he doesn't want to fight him because he considers him a god and he won't fight him.
And he doesn't want Macho Camacho to run from him anymore.
One can only wonder what goes through a man's mind moments away from fighting the unsinkable Julio Cesar Chavez.
Chavez's next fight against Frankie Mitchell was seen as a tune-up fight.
El gran campeón mexicano Julio Cesar Chavez.
Chavez wanted to send a message to Kamacho in his fight, and he did.
Puncher, and he can also take a punch. His problems became severe. There's a right hand by Chavez. Chavez 80-0, 66 knockouts.
A sweet double left hook knocked the mouthpiece out of Mitchell's mouth.
Mouthpiece of Mitchell.
Using the left hook, and there goes the mouthpiece, clean out of his mouth. Using the double left hook, again, mouthpiece from flying out.
Notice Chavez using his elbow to get Mitchell into position. I thought the head movement of Chavez to set up punches was excellent in this fight.
A lot of people, and just barely made the weight.
Wants to jab and move. 15,000 fans at El Torreo Stadium. You saw it here on Showtime. And Chavez will always come in. Willing to take shots, often has no regard for the punching power of an opponent. Well, one of those prayers was answered. Guy's looking for number 2.
Well, this prayer is all in his hand.
After seeing Kamacho taunting the Mexican fans before the 3rd round, Chavez took his anger out on Mitchell.
Big left hook by Chavez.
Number 9 by the WBA, number 7 by the IBF.
Right now, I think some of the left hooks to the body are really taking their toll on Mitchell.
Angel Hernandez in his last fight. Oh!
The absolute last place you want to be against Chavez is up against the ropes.
Trouble as he goes down for the count. Gets up at 5.
Up Chavez. It's the only way for him to get out and survive.
And like a shark sensing the finish, Chavez has him down for the 2nd time.
After the 2nd knockdown, Chavez leaned over the ropes and had words with Kamacho.
Chavez has to get to the neutral corner.
He started yelling at Kamacho, leaning over the ropes, and they're taunting each other right now in the middle of a fight. Safe to say this fight is either over now or it will be in a few seconds.
He's up at 9, but it's over. Mills Lane waves it off. It's all over here in the 4th round.
Still working him, still working him. There he goes. Again, he's back to the ropes. Mitchell gets hit on the ropes with a good right hand, gets in trouble.
I think that this quick trigger right hand was just as important to Chavez as the left hook to the body.
Couldn't get up from this one.
Here we see it again, a perfect straight right hand right down the pipe, timed beautifully. Fight's over.
Notice Chavez celebrating with his son Junior, who would grow up to become a world-class fighter himself.
Taking the ride, the victory lap around the ring with his dad.
Chavez returned to fight in his hometown, and he was on his way to a routine win over Bruce Pearson.
Se tambalea como una palmera azotada por un ciclón tropical y este golpe en la puntilla, el referee ya ni siquiera, bueno, iba a quitar el posicionador anatómico bucal, quién sabe qué estaba haciendo. Cuando, a ver cómo le hace Pearson, ¡ah, qué golpazo tan abajo! But Pearson landed a low blow. The low blow clearly hurt Chavez, and the rules of boxing state that you can have up to 5 minutes to recover from a low blow, but Chavez wasn't the type to take those 5 minutes. He went straight on the attack. Chavez picked up where he left off in the next round. Look at those left hooks to the body. It's brutal stuff from Chavez here.
El estudiante Aznar, en malas condiciones este estadounidense Bruce Pearson abanicando.
The referee wisely stops the fight after some more punishment from Chavez.
Cara manejado pocas veces, que gancho izquierdo a la zona hepática y el tercero sobre la superficie.
Obey my commands and protect yourself at all times. Any question? Okay, touch glove and good luck.
He's got maybe one of the longest streaks going that I can remember in boxing.
Chavez fought Marty Jakubowski on the same card as Greg Hagan fought. This was seen as a tune-up for a fight against Hagan.
Talking about the Chavez legendary left hook, always coming forward, relentless.
The textbook right-hand counter over the jab was on display.
And he just learned the terrible lesson, what happens when you try to jab and you don't pull back that jab with Chavez. Chavez will cross with a right in a minute. It'll be interesting. And Greg Hauser, whoa, nice right hand.
I'll tell you what, if Chavez ever does get in the ring with both Whitaker and Norris,
and he is so devastating, so used to guys, look at that jab, boom, you don't leave a jab out there with him. And the same thing now.
Not only that, but he backs him up and he times him perfectly.
Chavez was also mixing in his devastating left hook to the body.
And now Jakubowski is getting an idea of what it feels like to be chased by a lion.
Chavez was showing disrespect for Jakubowski and just walking forward and pounding him.
You don't have enough power to make Julio Cesar Chavez at least put his hands up when he comes in.
Chavez has walked right through just about everybody that he's fought, and he's doing it again here. He's just walking through this guy.
Chavez knows his chin is elite, and he probably isn't even feeling any of Jakubowski's punches.
The crowd responding to everything by Chavez.
Notice how Chavez jabs downstairs and comes upstairs with the right cross. Beautiful stuff.
By Chavez, hey, they're just educated punches. That's all you can say. He aims them properly. He lands properly. Chavez swarming. Jakubowski, though, fighting back and says, come on in.
Marty makes a mistake of taunting Chavez and starts to take brutal punishment in return.
Jakubowski in dire trouble. This could be it. Combination to the head by Chavez. Tough kid. Round 6. Scheduled for 10. At one point, there's Chavez with a lunging right, and now Carlos.
Marty complains about the stoppage, but he didn't win a second of the fight, so I have no problem with it.
Blood streaking from the left side of Jakubowski, and he is really miffed that Carlos Padilla stopped the fight. It's any referee, no matter the most cold-blooded of them. Let's take a look. Just watch the right hand. Just look at, concentrate on the right hand and the jaw and the way he takes it. Look, 1, he's sliding over. Now you can see he's almost out. 2, he's really gone on the way. 1 more and he's planted into the canvas. Thank goodness they didn't give it to him. I think that's great. I think that's just the way it should be.
Greg Hagan confronted Chavez after the fight.
Didn't show me nothing, you know. Couldn't hurt the kid.
A ti sí te voy a arrancar la cabeza.
I'm gonna chop your head off.
A ti no te voy a tener compasión. A ti no te voy a tener nada de compasión.
I'm gonna have no compassion with
me neither.
Chavez's next fight was a tune-up for his defense against Terrence Ali. After that nice showing of head movement, Chavez got the stoppage fairly easily.
Casi da la espalda Silvio y de rodillas a sus pies queda con la nariz clavada en la lona.
Chavez was a 24-1 favorite to beat Ali, and those odds were pretty accurate. At the end of round 1, I thought Chavez was pretty lucky to get away with this punch after the bell.
Terry Norris, is it valid? Is it fair to describe somebody as pound for pound the best in the world?
I think it is. He's got him staggered again.
It's an illegal punch. Chavez was in motion to throw the punch before the bell sounded, but it was still an illegal punch.
Just one economic punch. Whoop, that right hand, right on the button. And look at the number that Ali does. It's a miracle he didn't go down.
But Chavez is vastly superior to this guy, so it's not like he was being a dirty fighter to win the fight or anything.
He's sharp. He's very sharp.
At least he's giving it a shot. I admire him for that.
Combination to the head by Chavez.
This is one of my favorite Chavez clips. It's just a brutal piece of work. The accuracy of Chavez was great in this fight. Every time Chavez lands a clean punch, he hurts Ali. I have to give credit to Ali, he shows tons of heart in this fight. Notice his mouthpiece was just dislodged by that combination.
Piece, I believe, of Terrence Ali.
You believe correctly.
And a fine left. Oh, another left by Chavez.
Ali was one of the few guys who didn't run from Chavez. He stood his ground and was willing to go through hell to win.
He hadn't seen or felt, so he's giving it the best he can, and you got to admire him for, another hard shot by Chavez.
Notice this series of left hooks from Chavez. This is pound for pound level stuff.
Look at those left hooks and uppercuts.
It's poder. He's right. He's got a lot of poder. The body and to the head, it's amazing he can throw punches with that kind of speed.
Now Chavez just bobbing and weaving.
After displaying some great head movement, Chavez upped his game.
30 seconds remaining, round 5. Look out, Ali's off balance, and Chavez trying to take advantage.
It doesn't matter how big your heart is, if you're outgunned, you're outgunned.
Chavez finishes with a flurry.
In round 6, Chavez decided it was time to go home.
In tough fights against undefeated fighters, champions always gives a good showing of himself. Tonight, no exception. Chavez knocks him down.
Terrence Ali's doing his best, but I think he's not going to make it.
Ali's in all kinds of trouble. Ali's saying, don't wave it off, it's not over.
He was fighting back. I'll tell you what, he was fighting back and he stopped it while he was in the middle of a combination.
This is another example where it's hard to argue with the stoppage. Ali didn't hurt Chavez at all, and he was rocked multiple times in the fight. It's very unlikely that he would have managed to turn this around. The referee did say box on and then stopped the fight because Chavez was celebrating on the ropes, but I guess I'm just one of those people who prefers an early stoppage to a late one.
Because Chavez was on the ropes, he said, well, that's enough, let's quit it anyway.
And we go to, of course, Whitaker now. Whitaker.
Whitaker. No good.
Chavez pounded Mike Powell to the canvas in his next fight, and the Americans' corner were forced to stop the fight to save their fighter from further punishment. In his next fight, Englishman Andy Holligan vowed not to take a backward step against Chavez. Holligan was nicknamed Hands of Stone, but he was rocked just a second into the fight by a Chavez left hook.
To be effective at all, and the jaw of Stone just survived because Chavez is very accurate and already
he's rocked.
And he's in trouble.
Andy Holligan is rocked by Julio Cesar Chavez.
One good hook, and it set him back on his heels. Continuous left hook to the head. Look at that.
Holligan was true to his word. He never took a backward step in the fight. Chavez, though, was easily taking him apart.
Let's look at a master at work. Let's look at, there goes that left hook to the side, left hook to the head.
In the 5th round, Chavez went back to his old style and fought Holligan on the inside.
Right in there and taking it.
Chavez always starts a little slower and starts to
close not only the fight, but the rounds, in each of the rounds as the fight goes on stronger and stronger, that's where everybody else fades, and he just gets better and better.
Chavez started administering a beatdown.
Stone right now. Red stone, but stone.
Yes. And again, Chavez connecting. The crowd coming alive. Perhaps sensing something.
Yeah, he's almost right. Almost ready to go. Holligan has taken an inhuman amount of punishment.
Big finish here to round 5 by Chavez. How much more of this punishment can Holligan take? Arthur McCanny is looking very closely at the challenger.
I thought the Englishman's corner did the right thing in stopping the fight. Holligan was clearly outmatched and had only one way to fight.
And that is it. You are correct, Bertie. It is all over. It ends between rounds.
Chavez was outboxing Tony Lopez in his next fight, so Lopez decided to stand his ground.
Chavez open up.
Chavez was giving him a methodical beating.
Dirty and magnificent physical condition for this fight. Left hook. And Tony hangs in there, but Chavez beating him with the punch.
All right, one more round. One more round.
The doctor told Lopez that he would give him one more round. Chavez just kept doing a job on Lopez. Chavez said that his left arm was hurting him throughout the fight.
But Julio doing what he has to do. A big right hand right on top of that ball.
In the end, the stoppage was early, but I think it was all right.
The doctor to take another look at the eye. Blood coming from the right eye, blood coming from the left eye. And I get the idea the doctor will probably stop it now, even though Tony says let it go.
Tony was past his prime anyway, and Chavez was beating him up in first gear.
Very strong. Thank you. Thank you much for the chance to the title. Thank you, Chavez.
I think this video is already going a bit too long. We'll look at the rest of Chavez's career in a future video. I think Chavez was an exceptional fighter. I think his prime was around the time of the Rosario and Ramirez fights at 135 pounds back in 1987 and 1988. He was still excellent for a while after that, but he never seemed to be as good as he was after he went up to the 140-pound division, where he actually became an even bigger star. Chavez was amongst the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world for many years. He was an extremely exciting fighter who gave his all in the ring. He is always going to be a legend. Thanks for watching.